This is a video on how to add and subtract fractions. So starting here, we have 3 over 4 plus 1 over 5. Now when we're adding fractions, we need to come up with a new denominator. And this new denominator needs to be something that we can get to from both 4 and 5 by timesing numbers to them. So something that works for here is 20, because we can get from 4 to 20 by timesing by 5, and we can get from 5 to 20 by timesing by 4. One option for finding our new denominator is timesing our two starting denominators together. So for this, we'd be timesing 4 by 5. Now, sometimes we can get a smaller denominator as our new denominator that might involve a little bit less simplifying later by using different methods, but timesing together is always one option. Now we see here, whatever we did to the bottom of the fraction needs to do to the top. So to get from 4 to 20, we times by 5. So we have to do the same thing to the top of the fraction. So we go 3 times by 5. That's what we end up with over here. Now to get from 5 to 20, we times by 4. So we have to times the top of the fraction by 4 as well, which gives us 1 times 4. Now we have a plus here because we are adding these fractions. Then we just tie this up. So 3 times 5 is 15, and 1 times 4 is 4. Then we have 15 plus 4 over 20. And 15 plus 4 is 19, so we're left with 19 over 20. Now here we have 2 over 7 plus 3 over 6. One thing to keep an eye out for is if we can simplify any fractions at the start. This just means less simplifying later. So we see here 3 over 6 can be simplified because we can divide both the top and the bottom of the fraction by 3. So we get 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. That's our new simplified version of 3 over 6. And the 2 over 7 just stays the same. So we have 2 over 7 plus 1 over 2. And then we can work from these fractions. So our new denominator is going to be 14 because we can get from 7 to 14 by timesing by 2. And we can get from 2 to 14 by timesing by 7. And we see another method to get this new denominator would be timesing 7 and 2 together. Now whatever we did to the bottom of the fraction, we have to do the top. So we had to times the 7 by 2 to get to 14. So we have to times the 2 by 2 as well. So we get 2 times 2. Now we times 2 by 7 to get to 14. So we have to times 1 by 7 as well. So we get 1 times 7. And then we just tie this up. So 2 times 2 is 4. And 1 plus 7 is 7. So we have 4 plus 7 over 14. 4 plus 7 equals 11. So we're left with 11 over 14. Now we're subtracting fractions. Subtracting fractions is very similar to adding fractions. We're just going to have a minus sign. Now again, if we can simplify at the start, we do. And if 6 over 8 can be simplified because we can divide both the top and the bottom of the fraction by 2. So we get 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now, if you ever miss simplifying at the start, that's okay. You can still get the right answer. There'll just be a little bit of simplifying at the end. Okay, and we see, so our 6 over 8 has been replaced with 3 over 4, and 2 over 3 stayed the same. So now we're working from 3 over 4 minus 2 over 3. Now our new denominator is going to be 12, because we can get from 4 to 12 by timesing by 3, and we can get from 3 to 12 by timesing by 4. And whatever we do at the bottom of the fraction, we have to do at the top. So we went 4 to 12, we times by 3, so we have to times the top of the fraction by 3 as well. That's where you get 3 times 3. To get from 3 to 12, we times by 4, so we have to times the top of the fraction by 4 as well. That's where we get 2 times 4. Now we see now we have a minus because we're subtracting fractions. Then we just tie this up. So 3 times 3 is 9, 2 times 4 is 8, so we have 9 minus 8 over 12, and 9 minus 8 is 1, so we're left with 1 over 12. Now subtracting fractions again, we need to come up with our new denominator. Now one option for a new denominator would be 24, and that would be by timesing these two together, but a smaller number that also works is 12. 12 works because we can get from 6 to 12 by timesing by 2, and we can get from 4 to 12 by timesing by 3. If you want to use 24 instead, that's fine. You just have a little bit more simplifying at the end. Okay, so to get from 6 to 12, we times by 2. So we have to do the same thing to the top of the fraction. So we go 1 times 2. And then to get from 4 to 12, we times by 3. So we have to do the same thing to the top of the fraction. So we go 3 times 3, which is what we end up with here. And then we just tie that up. So 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 3 is 9. So we have 2 minus 9 over 12. 2 minus 9 is negative 7, so we're left with negative 7 over 12. Now with fractions, we could put the negative on the top, or we could put it at the front. Either way is fine, as long as you only use one negative.